How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Loose Cannons podcast. Big up everyone. Big up the community. Big up the people commenting. Big up the panel. Big up the special guest today. But it's another one of those great weekends, people, that I'm glad that we can start with a smile, the podcast, because the last few games in the Premier League is tested my patience a little bit. But we came back with a bang against Leeds, 4-0. I didn't do my match reaction for it, but I bought our reaction after the City drop points, which obviously adds to the smile that you see on the screen now, people. But like, hype, subscribe, show Proton VPN some love. The QR code is on screen. The link is in the description. And big up James Jordan, as always. Channel links in the description below. And a special guest, as always, FK in the building this time round from Latte Firm. Big up FK. What are you telling me, bro? You all right? Long time?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's so good to be here. Presumably everybody else said no, right, Turkish? So
yeah, a couple of people
got the last minute call.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, pleasure. I'll be looking forward to this. I tune in every week. I love it.
I think you're the best guest. We've had a few, but I think you're the best guest, FK. We've had some.
FK he does this every single week.
James, why are you? James, it's rude to interrupt. I was just in the middle. I was
okay.
You're mocking our guests, and you're talking to me about rude.
James,
I would never mock him all day long. I would never mock him. FK, don't listen to him. We've had some big dogs on this podcast, but I followed you. I see your work. I'm feeling your vibes out there in the world. Like, this is a big moment for us, brother. Thank you for coming on the podcast. It's a late one, so we appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, Jordan. That's the kindest thing. Thank you, man. Honestly, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Turkish.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
I'm delighted here, FK.
Go on, James.
Well, no, I was going to give a more sincere welcome, actually, rather than the nonsense you come out with, Jordan. But anyway, I was going to say rude. That I know it is rude, but there we go. Did you miss me, Jordan? I missed one pod. FK, we've had some good chats on Latte Firm. We've got the snack check. You know, every time I come on Latte Firm, we do the snack check, which is a good laugh. We have really wholesome, nice conversation about Arsenal. And then I watch you on Twitter just roasting rival fans. I'm like, this can't be the same FK. Just killing rival fans at any given opportunity. I'm thinking, oh my word, the poor guy. But I'm glad you're doing the good work for us, because I'm like, oh, do I fancy an argument today? But you always just you just put it to bed, like one shot kill and on you move. So fair play to you, mate.
In terms of this whole social media stuff, FK, stop me if I'm wrong, but you were born on Twitter in terms of the social media thing, so he knows what he's doing over on that side. It's a few that have managed to crossover from Twitter to YouTube, so it is rare to see. But yeah, I also see it a lot. I see FK in so many comments, replies, and everything, and the likes are 1,000 up because he's getting onto someone.
Listen, sometimes I like to be a nice guy all the time, but sometimes every now and again you just get someone that pushes your buttons by saying something audacious or ridiculous or anti-Arsenal, and it winds me up. And it depends on what mood I'm in. You know, I'm a lot older than all of you guys, right? I got kids, I got pressure with job and stuff, and you just find that outlet and you just sink someone with one tweet, and it's just yes. Go for it. Appreciate you, James.
Come on. All right, people, go show Latte Firm some love as well. Road to 50k on YouTube. That's FK's channel, regular guest throughout. Like James said, he's been on the channel. A lot of people have been on the channel, so make sure you go show some love and help along the way, people, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. And yeah, we're in a good place right now, so those Twitter comments and the clapbacks hit a bit harder now, because Arsenal are finally, it looks like we're getting there. It looks like the finishing line is there. The light is at the end of that tunnel. It's not dimming. And it looks like we are getting somewhat closer to a May that, or a June that we look at and, look back and think we've finally done it. And the Premier League is the one for me, albeit I know we've got a Carabao Cup semi-final around the corner, Champions League knockouts resume in March, and FA Cup, we've got Wigan, so the expectation is we get through there, and it's a cup competition that we love so much as Arsenal fans, heritage-wise. FK, let's start with you on it. I mean, I haven't spoken to you in a long time. Like I said, I've seen your tweets, and I know your thought process over the years. You have kept it real, but when it's time to lose yourself and get lost in the sauce, ride the waves, you also do that. And the waves the past few weeks have been up, down. You know, we've had to look at Man City, their results, performances to pick us up a little bit. But this weekend is one of those that adds to many weekends this season where you look around, the Ops have lost, and we have managed to capitalize in some way, shape, or form, whether playing before or looking back and sitting back and watching the game after. That's what's happened today. But how do you feel about Arsenal this season? All 4 competitions. Like, what's your expectation? Like, how giddy are you? Is it handbrake on? Like, you know, talk to me.
There's so many questions. Look, first of all, it feels like a dream, right? At some point, I'm just going to wake up, and it's just not going to be true. Where we're top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League phase, into the cup final, so it's the cup semi-final, sorry, against Chelsea, hopefully into the final on Tuesday, and we're going strong against Wigan, and we've got a stacked squad, and everything's going so well for us. We're so hard to beat. I get carried away with the romance of it all the time, Turkish. Like, sometimes I sit there and I think to myself, oh my God, we're so good. Like, we're going to win the league. This is it. This is the year. It has to be, especially after the sort of, you know, finishing second 3 years in a row. So I'm a mess when it comes to Premier League games. I'm sure you guys are as well. Like, it's not fun watching Arsenal at the moment because it's mentally draining. It's physically exhausting. I get to go to games home and away, very privileged to be that. But like, until that whistle blows, it's just not a fun experience. And then if we've won, obviously it's just insane. This weekend has been unreal. To see Manchester City drop points against that lot, which I didn't think would happen, has been a real bonus. And every game that gets scratched off, Turkish, I'm getting closer and closer, and I feel like this is going to be it. So I get carried away just like anybody else. And for me, the bread and butter is the Premier League. That's the one that I want. You know, I've been around this club long enough to know what it feels like to win the Premier League and to be champions of your own country. There's nothing like it. And I recognize you've never won the Champions League before. That would be unreal too. But for me, it is the Premier League. So I'm feeling good, man. Feeling really positive. And like I say, we're getting closer and closer. 14 games to go now. 6-point buffer. I can visualize it, man. I'm getting carried away. I shouldn't. I got to stop. Someone else come in.
14 games to number 14. Is that what we're going with in the title? Nah, let me not even test the football gods right now, because over the years it's been mad. But FK, was you at the Leeds game?
Do you know, I had to give my ticket to one of my Patreon members. I couldn't go because nobody else wanted to go, and it's a long way to go for me from London, so I couldn't go to the game. But I was watching. Let's just leave it to everybody's imagination how.
And Jordan, you didn't go to this one, did you?
No, sorry, no, I wasn't there. No.
Well, I mean, where do we Jordan? Let's start with you on the game itself then. 4-0. You know, in terms of the game and my view of it, I watched the first half when it was 2-0 comfy. I focused on little man's birthday because it was Zekai's 5th birthday last Wednesday, so we had the party yesterday. So second half, I'm a bit of a highlights merchant, or what the loose cannon street says, a Jordan for this one. There's more highlights in the second half.
Oh, comments, get to work. Come on, comments.
My son at Arsenal. I'm sorry, I love Arsenal a lot. And I've actually loved
manipulation. You see, I can't say that right now. I missed the game because my son, you know, I can't do that one. Damn it.
One day you'll know what I'm saying. One day.
For real.
Yeah, that was a good one, Turkish. Happy birthday to your son, but also well played with that one. It doesnn't quite. It's got a little bit more weight to it than Griselda, doesn't it? There's a little bit more.
There's a little bit more to it. I think.
Yeah.
Emmy nominated Griselda. I'll have you know. It's a big boy series, you know. Like it's not a joke.
We might be on this podcast talking about Zekai in 15 years about signing for Arsenal and getting a first team. Why is Mikel not paying him? Has he got a problem with youth?
Yeah. And I don't want no bias, Turkish. I want you to take him on like you would take on Havertz and Gyökeres, all right? No bias.
Turkish will be like the most ruthless. Like, he'll miss a chance. He'll be like, listen, Matt, we've been working on that for years.
Get him off.
If we're not up to scratch,
get him off.
Get out the club.
Zakaya out.
Get him off. Get him off. I love you, but get him off.
It's business. I love it.
Listen. 4-0. 2-0 either half. Job done half time. And in a game that, listen, a lot of people now look back on and say it was Leeds, but going into it, it wasn't Leeds. It was a Leeds team fighting, a Leeds team showing heart, a Leeds team, you know, winning points. difficult grounds at home, a formidable record. That's only their third loss this season, and it was in an emphatic way. So, and usually you're very microscopic on maybe the things you don't like over the things you do like. But this is a game that I think it's more likes than there is any dislikes.
100%. I'm glad you've kind of teed up with that context there, Turkish, because if you'll allow me, just before I get to the actual result itself, I think we have to kind of put this result in the context of the last 7 days, because our last, 2 podcasts ago, we were all on here and we were all scathing and vexed. We were all really disappointed in our performance and result against Manchester United. Mo was trying to bring a little bit of balance and a bit of context. The fact that it was our first defeat at home, and just kind of make us calm down a little bit. It wasn't as big a deal as I think that's how we felt as we were making it out to be. I disagreed then. I disagreed now. I think it wasn't just a one-off bad game. It was a bad result and a bad performance in a string of bad performances and results. Forest. What else? Forest, and who else did we draw with? Liverpool before that. So it wasn't good 7 days ago for us, and all the bad things that I think we talked about in that game directed towards the manager and the team, I think we got the opposite in this performance here. Because let's have it right, guys. This was a big game, and I know these aren't the best team in the world, and they're fighting for their lives still to some degree. But I don't care what Leeds team you're playing, in what circumstance, going to Ellen Road, they're gonna put it on you. They're going to put it on you. And at a time when we needed to really just get out there with a dirty 1-0 win, I thought we played really, really well. I thought the first 20 minutes, I watched this game after the live game, obviously, because I'm not a criminal. Apart from the first 20 minutes or so, where I thought we were really under the cosh, I thought Arsenal, they held their own really, really well. Really well. I won't go into kind of details now, because I know you want top lines from the three of us, and we'll go into players in detail in a little bit, because there's some players I want to speak about, and we're definitely going to do a Glock watch this week too. But I thought going into this game off the back of that United win, and for me, all right, the game in the midweek didn't really matter, but I wasn't overly convinced, and I just thought it was a time to really flex a little bit and just mash up a team, get some confidence in. And we ended up getting a 3-2 win, going into this game knowing that we had to win. And I think we all assumed City were going to beat Spurs. I think we all assumed, if you're looking at Villa, they were going to beat Brentford at home. So we really had to do our job. And to do it in the emphatic nature that we did it in, I thought Mikel Arteta spoke all week about the needs to refocus, calm down. I mentioned going back to basics, and all that talk seemed to be played out in the game. They seem to be calm. They seem to be able to compete, really go toe-to-toe with Leeds in that sense. And then once they kind of quietened down the crowds, especially at Ellen Road, showed a bit of quality. Showed a little bit of quality, and they played. It wasn't a dirty 1-0 win. I thought we really handled Leeds and put them in their box, and that's not easy. This is a Leeds team that's on a good run of form of late at Leeds. That's 9-0 on aggregate. I know they're promoted. That's still 9-0 on aggregate against Leeds United. I'm impressed. I want to big up the boys. I want to big up Mikel Arteta, because
Gyökeres is a hat-trick on aggregate as well.
All right, let's forget the aggregate thing now. Let's just drop the aggregate thing then for doing that. But my overall top lines would be going into a really, really, because boys, let's imagine if we'd have drawn that game, and I know the results elsewhere have gone our way, but let's say Villa win their game, City win their game, and we draw. This is a very different podcast, and we as a fan base and as a club are having a very different weekend. It's gone the opposite way.
And that could have happened. Our business.
It could have happened.
On paper, Leeds away, Tottenham in the form they are against City. This could be the reverse.
If that game finished 1-0, would anybody have been stunned? Wouldn't have been stunned if we. Do you know what I mean? So I want to just say before I throw to James now, well done to the boys. Well done to Mikel Arteta. Made a big call dropping Odegaard. That was big. One thing about Mikel Arteta is people call him stubborn. I don't think he is stubborn. I think actually he does recognise when he's made faults and made errors and when changes need to be made. His favourite is Odegaard, and he dropped his captain. That was a big call. Lost Saka in the warm-up as well. That your vice captain who was coming in as captain. These are things that could have really shaken the team. I'm very, very big on pressure. I'm not convinced this team can deal with pressure. if we win the title in May, my final point, if we lift the title in May, this will be a weekend where I will be saying the club, the team, the manager handled pressure. They came through a really difficult weekend, and I want to big them up for that.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Oh, now I'm going to come with a little bit of cold water on this. I think what we did really well in this game was we basically, Clive says this all the time, like earned the right to play. And basically we spent the first 10 minutes essentially in Leeds half, or at least just kind of like basically nullifying anything they wanted to in the game. They couldn't get any rhythm. They couldn't really get at us. And we just wrestled control of it pretty quickly. And for 90 minutes, I don't know about you guys. This was probably the most relaxed I've been watching Arsenal all season in a Premier League game. I thought we looked very in control. However, just because he dropped Ødegaard, which well played, that was the right thing to do. I don't think Havertz and Gyökeres really worked, if I'm honest. I don't think we looked necessarily more fluid. I don't think we necessarily looked better through the lines. I think what we did really well in this game was Madueke and Martin, when he came on, beat their fullback all the time. We got balls into the box early, and we were great off set pieces again, and we were quite clinical. And I think this was just a really professional performance from Arsenal. I think when you read 4-0, had you not watched the game, you'd think, wow, we must have been scintillating and cut through Leeds. I'm not sure we did that. I think we were just very sensible. I don't think we got out of second gear, if I'm honest, guys. I thought we were just really sort of, sensible. I mean, our set pieces are a joke. We are, I know we kind of say it every time we score from one, but I think we are the best team I've ever known from set pieces.
Sorry, James. We don't even need a player to head them in now. We're that good at them. We don't need a player there.
But you don't. Gabriel, I think he scored against Villa, but since then, Ben White scored at the Bridge. Zubimendi in this game. Timber gets one. Merino against United. Everyone can chip in from set pieces. The deliveries are that good. We used to say, part of the magic is Saka and Rice's deliveries, but we're seeing that Madueke's deliveries are very, very good as well. He's kind of more near post, whereas Saka hits the back post well, but still causes so many problems. And defensively, we were great. But I'm not sure Arsenal fixed a lot of what was going wrong in the last few weeks. I just think we were tidier in possession. We were sensible. We were more clinical. My biggest criticism, the reason I was losing it post Forest, Liverpool, and United was I saw a trepidation in our passing, a nervousness, an unwillingness to play the ball quickly, a second thought with every movement and every pass, something that to me screamed anxiety or nerves. And in this Leeds game, I just thought we looked totally relaxed and got it done without being scintillating. Do you guys think I'm being too harsh, or do you guys have a similar feeling? Go on, FK.
I think a little bit.
I do. No. I think it was a brilliant performance by Arsenal. Look, performances don't always have to be cutting teams apart to make it brilliant. I thought we were dominant from the first moment. We controlled possession. And I think Jordan was saying earlier, Leeds are a good team. Since the 1st of December, they're 6th in the form table. They've lost 1 in 10, and they've only lost 2 at Ellen Road all season. They're taking points off Newcastle. They're taking points off Liverpool, Manchester United at home. And if you look at the, Opta sort of partner with us at Latte Firm, and they give us all their sort of graphics. And if you look at the attacking threat chart, it is literally all Arsenal. And I know we scored 4, and I think we mustered up 2 and a bit sort of XG, but we limited Leeds to 0.13 or something XG at home. That is phenomenal, James. So I agree with you that it wasn't the most, cut and thrust, swashbuckling football. I get it. But in terms of control, and to your point about how I felt during the game, I didn't enjoy it. I got to be honest. I wasn't comfortable. It was one of those fixtures where even after we'd scored the first, even after we'd scored our second, I thought to myself, if Leeds get one more and the crowd get on our backs like they can sometimes do, it's going to be one of those games. Only when the final whistle went and I started looking at the stats and I started looking at the threat charts and I started watching the highlights and watched the game back again today, this was as complete, controlled, dominant performance as you will see Arsenal do all season. And I get it, the goals came from a set piece, and finally Madueke got that goal credited to him. The third goal is wonderful. If you look at Ødegaard's pass and Martinelli, Martinelli of old probably gets sliding tackled that sort of out of possession, but he turns and the cross to Gyökeres, delighted for him and Jesus, lovely finish. This was a great performance. I don't want to say it was like unbelievable, like the best we've ever seen, but in terms of like comfort and dominance and just nullifying any threat of a decent team who are on the rise at the moment under Daniel Farke. Yes, it's a top performance from me.
But I agree with all that. You know, as in totally comfortable. Agreed. I mean, I was saying I wasn't remotely phased. I watched the game like very relaxed because I felt Arsenal were just in total control. I think what I mean is like maybe I'm looking at it through the lens of as a 190, great, brilliant, Leeds are in great form. We've done a really good job. I think in terms of the bigger picture going forward, I didn't see combinations from Kai and Gyökeres that made me think, yeah, brilliant, we've unlocked something there. I didn't see a fluidity that made me think, yep, cool. If we played this way against Liverpool or United or Forest, it would have been any different. I think largely we were just much more controlled and much more at ease and much more sensible. And to be fair, I think we embodied more of what Arteta said, which was like enjoying it a little bit more. Not that the football was swashbuckling and all that, but I think we just looked more professional in this game than we did in the previous three. And that's what I liked. It just was all very sensible. 3 o'clock Premier League game, 4-0, thanks, on we go. Like, then that's what I quite liked. It wasn't headline making. I don't think I'll ever watch that game back nor the highlights, but it was just the perfect antidote to what had happened the last few weeks.
It's the typical Arteta Arsenal performance, but it also included the goals at the right times. I think we've seen that. I think I get what James is saying, but I agree with FK as well. But we've seen that first half many a time, but we've also seen it many a time end with it being 0-0. At least with this one, we got our first goal and then we got our second goal, which is also something that after scoring, we tend to sit backwards. That's that's how people have been looking at it. This time around, we got our 2 goals and I was comfy. Like I said, half time, I thought this game, Leeds, we have them here because we have suffocated them completely. And it's not like we are hoping for a great 15 in the second half to kill them off. We've essentially killed them off. Now it's just about managing it. And whilst managing it, 2 more goals, Bob's your uncle. That is the perfect performance. And Leeds are a threat. As much as they're in and around the dogfight, they are a threat. They're a good team in terms of mindset, attacking, transition. And they had absolutely nothing for us. So that's where I lean more
One
towards.
shot on target, Turkish.
Yeah.
We reduced Leeds, who are, honestly, the last 10 games have been outstanding. Since Daniel Farke has gone back to a back 4, like, they have been solid and been creating chances. You've seen it, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring goals. Like, one shot on target. It's immense from Arsenal.
I think from my kind of like, if you like, Leeds Arsenal bingo card, so much was ticked, right? Clean sheet for me, tick. An emphatic scoreline, 4-0. That's a message, I think, to City and to Villa. If you're looking at Villa, like 4-0 away at Leeds, message sent, tick. Strikers scoring goals, tick. Leading into your strength of set pieces, tick. Suffocating teams, offenses, tick. I just think it was a really, really clean game where everything that you probably wanted from this particular game and more we got. It's not a game I enjoyed watching. I agree with both of you, but I've not enjoyed many of our games this season. I don't really watch. I don't enjoy watching a lot of our football. I don't think we play particularly good football in accordance to what I think is good football. But I've kind of made my peace the fact of we're not going to play the football that I like and want. It's about winning the title. So cool, whatever. Don't like it, but it is what it is. But I just kind of think the context of getting all those ticks with the fact that we didn't need to win 4-0. We didn't need to be all those things. We just needed to get out there with a scrappy 1-0. Yeah. The fact that we got so much more, I think that says quite a lot. And I just think the boys, deserve, like I said, as much praise as they get this week as much criticism they got last week. Because I think they turned it around, and now we're looking up because results have gone our way this weekend. So it's about now for me continuing that run. This last week Arsenal blinked. Turkish and James, I keep saying don't.
I was wondering whether that was just me.
Yeah, we lost for a second. So was I for a second.
Oh, he was in his flow as well. Look at the passion.
It was quite a good flow.
He was nailing it. He was making a great
really
point. It does say a lot to me, that you guys have been quite praising of Arsenal, said I've been quite harsh, but actually no one said that they've even really enjoyed the performance. You know what I mean? Like there's still an element of like, well, I didn't really enjoy the football. Like that's quite weird for a 4-0, is it not? I feel like I'm also not trying to hate on the team. The team did great. I'm really proud of them. Well done. Like, mate, great win. But I do think that says something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I completely get you. Sorry, Turkish, just to come in on that. Like, I think I said a few moments ago that like I've not enjoyed watching Arsenal in the league, but it's primarily down, James, to the desperation I have to win this league title.
Yeah.
Like we crave it so much, and we've come so close for the last 3 years that it's gut wrenching, it's painful, and every goal that we concede, every point that we drop, every game state where we're not winning and where we're sort of level or desperately chasing a goal, it's like a dagger, and it doesn't feel good. And there's only one emotion that I feel when the whistle goes when we've won, and it's just relief.
Yeah.
Like we put 3 points onto the next one. Like I think, as Jordan was articulating beautifully before he sort of froze for a sec, if we win this title, that could be then like the pressure around the whole football club changes, the mood around the whole place, the mood around the narrative, the media. Just watching Match of the Day too, and Troy Deeney was saying, look, Arsenal are going to get it until they actually get it over the line. And that holds true. Like if we win this league title, then maybe the players start playing a bit more offensive, swashbuckling, Wenger-esque football. But like for now, honestly, every game is such a slog mentally, physically, and like emotionally.
I get it.
It's a big thing. It's a very big thing that we haven't won the league in so long, and we've come so close 2 out of the last 3 seasons. It's a massive monkey on our back.
I had hair, bro. I had a full head of hair when we last won the league.
I had hair. I lost it, and I've got it back.
I got it back again.
You got to hook me up, yeah.
I won. So I just hope I don't lose it again before we do it. But it looks like I'm good for it, man. The hairline might be out for the parade, but listen, winning, getting that first one, everything dies, because whether it's Troy Deeney on TalkSport, whether it's Big Steve on Big Six, whether it's like, whoever it is, we all know opposition fans, right? They're going to talk till we do it. Till we do it, they're going to talk. And as much as us as fans, at times, this banter, at times, this frustrating, it gets under our skin as players, the ones that are out there with all the eyes that, that are not responsible for the 21 years, but that 21 years is on their backs. Listen, if we get over the line, when we get over the line this season, I just expect to, I'm not getting greedy here, but I just expect to get into a little run where it's like, and you can tell in the players' persona too, because much is said about their aura and the way they look and present themselves, and they ain't even got that title yet. A title brings something else, Yeah, we've seen it with our, with the early 2000s team, the late 90s team, FK Jordan, for example. We saw that there's a certain something that comes with a winner's medal, Premier League winner's medal. And yes, we don't know about Europe yet. Fingers crossed that happens one day. But the boys are in a good position. So
I think it will come with a respect from other rival teams if we win the Premier League. I'm not so sure that things are going to change narratively amongst fans and media if we win the title, because they'll find something else next year to say, all right, yeah, you won your first title in 22 years. Oh, whoop-de-doo, you should win titles. Or it'll be, yeah, but you're not a European team yet, European winning team yet. Yeah. So I don't think I don't think we should put too much stock in let's win this title because things will change in the narrative. They won't change. That's fine. We're disliked. Our fan base is the most annoying fan base on the planet. Facts. We've just got to make our peace with that. We just need to stop caring about what other fans think about what we can and can't do. What I think we need to do is, I'll rephrase that. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to start being a bit more positive now, I'm going to be more positive. I am, because you know what? I'll call out when I see nonsense. No, I'll call out when I see nonsense. But I think I'm very big in life on people doing their jobs. Mikel Arteta, do your job. Victor Gyökeres, do your job. Raya, do your job, please. Saliba, etc., etc. But as fans, we've got to do our job. And I've been having this chat recently with friends of mine who support other teams from lower leagues. And it's interesting to hear what they say about Arsenal fans, right? Because they use the word entitled, they use the word flimsy, they use the word they use words like, you guys are, you're not real fans. You only cheer when things in the good times, whereas I've not seen my team win a title before and real. And then I thought, okay, let me look into this now. And I thought, if you look at teams like Newcastle, they're hardcore on their fans, but their bar seems to be a lot lower for really getting onto the backs of Newcastle teams. You look at Man United, they seem to cheer their bar. They were supporting Ten Hag and Ruben Amorim to the end. We would have never been supporting Ruben Amorim or Arteta if he was doing what he'd have been. Look at Emery. After 6 months, they turned on him. So there's something in us, just me, and I don't talk for other fans, I'll talk for me, just sometimes accepting that things don't go your way sometimes. Standards are a real thing, and we can call out nonsense when we see it, 100%. But actually, if everyone just does their job, our job for 14 games now is to support the team. If there are more Man United games that come up, we can analyze it, dissect it, and we can criticize as and when it's appropriate. But for me, I'm supporting my team more now. I'm going to try and be a different fan for the next 14 games because I want to enjoy this 14 games. I want to enjoy the next 4 months. I do. We've waited so long. I don't want to be negative. So Arsenal, do your job, please, and I'll do mine.
That Arteta speech got to you, didn't it? That Arteta speech about how we want to live the next 4 months, that we want to enjoy the journey. It got to you, didn't it? It did. You got inspired. You're one of those.
He got me.
Everyone went, oh, I'm back in, Mikel. Everyone did it. But the thing was,
we're getting smashed next week to Sunderland, and I'm going to be like, here cussing and cursing.
You're going to go mental. You're going to go absolutely. If we go out to Chelsea in midweek, you'll go mental. Look, I actually. So there's our fans and the rival fans. On the rival fans, I care in the sense that it does rattle me a little bit, but I don't really care what they think. Like, already we've heard Paul Scholes will be the worst team to win the league. Then he rephrased, said, will be the most boring team to win the Premier League. And I'm sat there thinking, you can't look at a team 6 points clear of £500 million in 12 months, Man City with Pep Guardiola and Haaland, of £400 million champions Liverpool. However much money Man United have spent, all the managers they've had, the money even Tottenham have spent, and Chelsea. You can't look at us excelling away from all those clubs and have a pop at us for it and say, well, if you do, you're not all that to do it. Because what are all of you doing? If there's criticism on us, then what the fuck do we have to say about all these other jokers? Like, if that's the reflection on us, I'd rather not look at football that way. The treble winners, and they were treble winners, Man United, got 79 points. So what are we doing looking at goals? And I think Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney, one season got under 70 goals. We talk about them as one of the great front threes. So we need to stop worrying about the numbers and the stats. Are Arsenal the most action-packed, thrilling, exciting team? No, but the season's not over. Would we take a lower points tally and less goals if it meant that more energy went into a double, maybe a domestic treble? Who knows? Maybe even more than that. So let's just let the season play out. And then when the history books are written, we can reflect on where this team are amongst the others. But if we win this title, we won't give a shit how we did it. We'll just be at the parade, loving every minute of it, finally having our hands on that title. On the Arsenal fans, Jordan, you make a good point. I've also wondered about that. Should I just shut up? When we play bad against Forest and Liverpool United, should I just basically just shut up and go, we've had a bad day, on we go? Well, I don't think that makes for a good podcast. I think we should talk about what went wrong in the game. And secondly, no, because I think if they're repeat trends from the year before and the year before that and the year before that, then I think you're right to talk about it and call it out. Erdegaard struggling in those 3 games, getting hooked to the point of then not starting against Leeds is a legitimate conversation. He's our captain. So I don't think you could just be positive about that. I think that's something to genuinely critique and look into.
I think I'm more right in the stadiums. Sorry, Jay, to cut you there. Remember your point.
We are positive. 22-23, let's call it as it is. 5-point lead at 1.7 point lead. We utterly threw it away. I mean, we finished 5 points behind Man City, and they've through the last 2 games that season. 23-24, I mean, Turkish was outside Old Trafford, bigging up the team, saying whatever happens, I'm proud of this team. So I think as a fan base, if we see the intention and the commitment, I think we do get behind. I think we start to get nervous when bad habits we have a history of start to rear its head. So I get your
PTSD.
point, but I get it.
It's PTSD. For the fans in the stadium can't shut out PTSD. It's probably even worse. You're living it in real time, and it's taken a lot. It's taken a lot to shake off a lot of things, because we went through a lot of things in those 10 years, 15 years. That's why I never have it when people talk down about our fan base in terms of ops. I know we've had internal problems, and what it swung one way, swung another. I get that, but in terms of a fan base, no other big six side in particular here would go the length of time we went moving into the Emirates, believing, hoping that things would eventually balance out, change. They just remember the last few years where it got really toxic, not the years on years building up before that. So I just think it's PTSD. So, the repeated stuff. Once we get over the line and that's brushed off, I feel like, again, I speak for myself, you can well and truly be the fan again. That little kid inside you, in terms of when Van P was talking about Man United, I'm talking about me now. When you wanted to go school, it's now you want to go work, because no one can chat shit anymore. Because we know what Arsenal are, but Arsenal haven't been what Arsenal are for a long time. And that's been the problem. It's not what the people are saying, it's what we know is the case. And finally, we're this close to being what we should be, and that's champions. I'm not saying year in, year out, but that's champions, and a team that's worthy of, being in all these competitions, nearly getting over the line. But let's get back to Leeds a little bit more in terms of the game itself.
Turkish, can I just come in on that 1 sec? Yeah. Sorry, man. I just want to say something about the mindset. This is really fascinating, right, James? When you think about all the tough years that we've had, no trophies, coming close, but also missing out by miles. Yeah, that sets a context in your mind, and it allows you to have this sort of PTSD when you get close in any new season. But context is the word here. And like, as fans, we've got this irrational fear that every defeat, and it's like, oh my God, back to the old days. Oh my God, I've seen this before. You think about the 3 defeats we've had this year in the 36, 37 games that we've played. An extraordinary free kick at Anfield from Dominic Szoboszlai, right? In a game that we all remember, like, we all thought, wow, Liverpool are respecting us. The game was so even, but it took an extraordinary moment. Emi Buendia at Villa Park, that was the most gutting end to any league game I've had this year. But like, walking away from Villa Park was horrendous. But it was a last minute, last gasp, players on the floor, like, effort, and they managed to get it in the 94th minute. And then, of course, Manchester United, right? Unexpected error from Zubimendi. And 2 stunning goals that if any of our players had scored, we'd still be talking about it today. Now, if that's what it takes to beat Arsenal and to derail Arsenal, I'm comfortable with that. Like, we're not getting torn apart week after week. We're not conceding shot after shot after shot and goal after goal. Like, we are so hard to beat, and it takes extraordinary moments from extraordinary players in one-off times as well in the game to really, like, lay a finger on us. Mate, we are doing things... Sorry, chaps, we are doing things this season that I don't think I've seen before. This is probably the hardest team to beat since 03-04. I mean, that bodes well. That's my point about irrational fear. Like, we just go into this hole where we think every draw, every defeat, oh my God, it's going to happen again. But actually, just hang on a second. Just like put it into context. 37 games, we've won like 32 of them, lost 3. That is phenomenal.
Yeah. And no one, I think, put that into context more for us than Man City. Because when I watch City and the points they've dropped, leading against Brighton, categorically outplayed for parts of that game. Leading against Chelsea, dominated in that second half by a managerless Chelsea who were going through a terrible week. Go to United, they lost 2-0. 5-0 wouldn't have flattered Man United that day. They were awful. They go away to a Tottenham side who have been forced into a back 3 because of injuries, who've got Palhinha right centre-back, Gray right wing-back, Romero goes off at half-time, they're 2-0 up in the game, with all the injuries Spurs have, and the awful, awful, awful home form, and just general form they've had all season, and they got, again, categorically, undoubtedly, outplayed, outfought, outrun, outplayed on the ball, everything. Spurs' touch, Spurs' skill, Spurs' drive. They've looked so unimpressive and uninventive, and they looked like with every attack they were going to hurt City. That for me is where what you talk about there, FK, is so true. What it takes to beat Arsenal is basically magic. It's like 1 in 20, 1 in 50 magic. That kind of moment that is so rare in a season. Hence, we've only really seen it 2-3 times to the point of it costing us. And City, on the other hand, they look so gettable. Like, teams really fancy it. Spurs with that 11 and Romero coming off as well, they should never, ever, ever have laid a glove on City. They shouldn't have. And yet, like, I'm seeing Toby on the Big Six disappointed they didn't win. And I agree with
won
him.
it at the death. Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree with him. So that puts it into context massively for me, that there's this kind of sense of like everyone else around us. I mean, if we're working hard for wins, I mean, what does it feel like for other teams? I mean, it must be like, if we're relieved when we get 3 points, how are others feeling? Because they're coming so rarely for others.
That's why it feels like it's our time. But that's what makes those moments more frustrating. Because again, just to play devil's advocate here, and just to play myself a little bit here in terms of, you know, how I maybe used to see things glass half empty instead of half full. But instead of 6, it could be what could it be now? 11, 13, 12? What could it be if we actually did our job against Forest, did our job against United, I don't think it's necessarily the losses that I've got a problem with. We're going to lose games. You know, we witnessed invincibles, but we witnessed only 1 invincibles in this league in our lifetime, you know. So I'm not expecting anything like that. It's just sometimes the approach going into games falls in line with PTSD, because those are the same kind of things that have let us down in those tight seasons. Villa, home, West Ham, or wherever it may be, that last stretch in 22-23. So yeah, I just think that there is, right, like when people kind of do feel nervous, like last week after United, I looked at this weekend and said, we have to beat Leeds, otherwise it could be 1 point. You know, obviously now it's very different. It's 6 points, but that's just how I felt then, because I've seen cracks in terms of, I've seen mentally a crack. And I think that's why Arteta coming out and speaking the way he did after the Man United loss, I think that was a big comment, a big statement to make in terms of, firstly, he was so open about it. I think Arteta's known to be very secretive about many a thing, but I think he was right to be open about it. So the people know, the players know, the people know. I think that's the most important thing from saying it. The players, you man know now, I've told everyone what we've talked about. And that's why Rice's comments after this game kind of fall in line with Mikel's in terms of the next 3 months, the next 4 months. Like, are you going to become a legend? Are you going to create a legacy? Are you going to do something we've never done before? You know, the option, we're in everything. We're in everything, and we're favorites in everything at this moment in time. I'm 37. FK maybe a bit older. Jordan a bit older. James younger. We've never sat here in any January we've been alive, February we've been alive, and said we are favorites for the 4 competitions left. We've never done that. Even with Henry, that era, we've never done that. So these comments, I need that, because I'm a character.
We're going to win the quadruple. Oh my God, we're going to do it. We're going to win the quadruple. It's happening. Oh my God.
Universe, mate.
I know you're going to go back to the Leeds game, but I think you're right to bring up that interview and the press conference you did, because because I think we should go back to the Leeds games. A couple more things I think we should talk about, but I think that we might look back on. Oh, definitely. But I think we might look back on that this week and the press conference and interview that Arteta's done as a moment, or as 2 moments. I think we might look back on his management post Man United defeat. I thought it was a very open, honest, and mature post-match interview that he gave, and the press conference he gave ahead of the Carrot game as well. I think those 2 could prove to be a growing moment for him as a manager, because he could have come out and he could have either been sullen, he could have been sulky, he could have felt sorry for himself, or he could have just ranted and raved and, you know, apportioned blame elsewhere. But he was calm, he was collected, he was honest, and he clearly had a chat with the team where it was like, you know what, guys, today we're not training. Come, let's go in the gallery, or whether they've got some big theatre room. We're gonna have a chat. Because you're on the verge of blowing this. You're on the verge of not blowing this season. You're on the verge of blowing 4 years. They've not all been there for 4 years, but you are on the verge of messing up 4 years of work to get to this point in the next 4 months. I don't know what he said, but I can imagine it was a real focused talk where it's like, listen, them man out there paying a lot of money to come and see you lot play. Yeah, they've been here every single week, every single year since I've been here. Don't blow it now. City won't be this bad next year. Liverpool will be back. This is your chance. He might not have said it, but he might have said, you know what, boys? You can take 2 or 3. You just said Turkey. We're favourites for all 4 competitions. Forget league. You have a chance to get 2-3 trophies this season. Forget training today. Go home. Think about United. And think about you're going to come back better. And they've done it. Leeds now, couple things. Madueke, he's had a lot of praise this weekend. And he was better. He was better. Still, I don't know. I want to praise him because having come off the bench, well, not off the bench, have to come in, not knowing you're starting and get your mind right to kind of put in that performance and those 2 crosses. I want to big him up for that. But I think he's been overly praised a little bit more than I think. He played well, but I need more from him. I think his performance during the game was, I think, okay. The 2 assists were brought 2 goals, fair enough. But I still think performance-wise, I need more from him during the 90.
Do you not think he's the best in our squad at beating the fullback? I don't think anyone regularly beats the fullback.
He could be the best in the league.
His end product is
he could be the best in the league.
But he constantly, whoever he's playing against, he constantly demolishes the fullback. I acknowledge that Saka is amazing at doing it too. But Madueke is so unbelievably direct. Just the end product is just a bit. But this was there on the weekend. His cross for Zubimendi was great. His set pieces were brilliant.
They were good.
Because of his work.
Maybe I'm being harsh now, but I just want a bit more of that during the game. One thing I noticed in this game, boys, and I've seen it all weekend: cross the ball. Look at how many goals this weekend have been scored from crosses. When you cross the ball, things happen. This game, we crossed the ball so much more in this game. I don't know why we've been so scared to throw balls into the box sometimes.
Yeah,
most teams now have a lump, a target man up front. Most teams do. Chelsea do, we do, United do, Man City do, Palace do. Most have use it. The amount of times I see wingers just checking back in and wasting the aerial advantage they have just makes me crazy. But when we cross the ball, we do often create chances to score goals, and I think we did that in this game. And lastly, I was saying Glock watch for me. I'll go there a bit early. I'll get the negative out the way first. The 1-on-1. Come on, bro.
No, I agree. That was really poor.
What are we doing here? Like, I know you're not fast, but that isn't for me even about being rapid quick. It's about getting your body in front, a good first touch to get a shot off. It was horrible. That's out the way. The goal he scored, I really thought was really good, because to hold off your man the way he did and get the connection and score. All right, it's 5 yards out, right? But he's doing 3 things at once. I want to rate him for that. And I think that is where I want to see him more. I don't want to see you on the channels anymore. Bro, you can't dribble. You're no asset in the channels, bro. Allow that. That's not for you. Get in the box and get your 10 goals from inside the 6-yard box. That's for me a Gyökeres goal. I want to see much more of him dominating centre-backs and pinning them and scoring that kind of goal. I thought it was a really good goal for me. So I wanted to big him up on that goal because I thought the 1-on-1 was horrendous, but I thought the finish was slyly quite underrated.
Who was given man of the match?
Ooh,
probably Noni.
I think Madueke and Zubimendi were the standout players. I thought Zubimendi was class, not just the goal. He looked really neat on the ball for me. You're not sure, FK?
I just couldn't remember who was giving it, but who we're giving it. It's difficult to look beyond Noni because he had 10 minutes notice. You're playing, and he's come in, got a great assist, scored that goal, or created the sort of chaos that led to that goal. And like Jordan says, what I love about Noni Madueke, I call him on the channel sort of 50 Shades of Noni, where you just, he excites me as much as he terrifies me, as much as he infuriates me, as much as he sort of gets me off my seat. But what he has all day long is that mental capacity to go again and again and again. Does not hide. He just wants to run at his fullback for fun. And yeah, sure, his end product, you just don't know if he's going to shank it into row Z or if he's going to twat it top bins. But
I do. I know.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, you do. It's only bruised. The sample size is tiny.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel that.
Shanky or twat. That's all I heard.
But when you've got that mental sort of resilience to just keep going, that says a lot about character. That says a lot about the boy. And yeah, I think he deserves it. And just on Gyökeres, you know, I love Victor Gyökeres. I want him to succeed so much. I wanted him for a year and a half before he joined. And he has had a very, very tough first 6 months. But what's that, 6 GNA now in 6? And if you think about not just the goal, and I agree with you, Jordan, it was a great goal because he's getting pulled back and he's sort of falling over as he hits it. But like, even just him as an outlet, the way that he holds up the ball, it's getting better. His first touch leaves a lot to desire. And that, I wouldn't say it was a one-on-one chance. I think Rodon did really well to get it back, but he's got to get the shot away quicker. He just needs to move the ball at his feet quicker. But yeah, I like what I see. And all I'll say in closing on that, we know how scarce goals are amongst our forwards, but one of these guys has such a great opportunity to take this situation by the scruff of the neck and just go on a purple patch for the next 5 or 6 games and get 5 or 6 goals. And that is all it can take to light the touch paper. Like, honestly, Victor could be that guy. I love what I see. And I think the Havertz partnership, James, is going to come. We saw it against Kairat. He's only had a couple of starts back to back, but I think it will come.
Yeah, it's interesting, the Kai Gyökeres experiment, because it looks much more 4-4-2 than it does 4-3-3. I know Kai does drop in, but it feels very direct. It feels like Arteta basically going, all right, if we're going to be this physical side, we're going to press well, we're going to lean on teams, and let's get our 6-foot-plus players in our spine and just do it properly. You know, you got to think the weekend before against United, we started with Jesus and Ødegaard. That's a big flip to Gyökeres and Kai Havertz. You're losing. I know Kai is a neat player, but he's not Ødegaard in terms of the passing and the ability to control the midfield. And Jesus, we know, doesn't. You know, he moves in a way Gyökeres doesn't. So there's a big move away with Arteta going with that 11. But I quite liked it because you guys were talking about the Arteta quotes. And look, I heard them and I can't lie. There's a little part of me that went, well played, Mikel. Like, good words at the right time. You know, I'm going to trying to just, you know, not get too caught up in the emotion, but fair play. You know, he spoke well. But I think the best thing he said, I want to shout out Tom Canton. The question he asked about Ødegaard and the position he gets in is great. Because I think we're all wondering it. Why does Eze look like he plays closer to the striker, but Ødegaard basically does what he wants? Like, they're essentially coming in for one in for the other. So why do they look so different? And Arteta basically said, well, I don't want him to do that. You know, he said there's a degree of I want flexibility and I want players to feel out the game. But he also was basically saying, I want you to have an impact. And when you couple up those words with getting pulled off against Forest, getting pulled off against Chelsea, the error at Stamford Bridge, he got pulled off in that game too, not starting at Inter Milan where quite a lot of other starters did, and then not starting at Leeds in a must-win. Your captain. That's, I think the last few weeks have been very, very telling from a starting, substitutions and quotes perspective from Mikel Arteta on how he views what Ødegaard's giving right now. And I think it's probably the most definitive he's ever been on the player. I think he rates him and he's going to back him. And I think Ødegaard will win his place back. But I think Arteta is sending a bit of a message like, it's not even just, you know, give me all this on the ball. I think there's been something off the ball. I think it's the way he's been run over, losing duels, things like that, that Arteta's like, look, I'll let you play yourself into your best form, but I'm not having that. Like, I'm not having you just getting walked all over in midfield. So, by the way, Ødegaard came on, looked great. I love the pass to Martinelli. Obviously, he's involved in the Jesus goal, but Jesus, you know, basically does all that. I thought he played a lovely first-time pass to Rice. So, yeah, no, Ødegaard did well, came off the bench and looked good. But I think that was the bit I found most impressive about Arteta in his quotes from the last week, was how strong he went on Ødegaard.
Can we just talk quickly about Eze? Because I don't know if anybody else or anybody is slightly concerned that even when he does drop Ødegaard, Eze's still not the guy that's coming in. I'm not concerned yet because he has a pattern of doing this with Saliba. He let Saliba wait at not Marseille. Where was he on loan for 3 years?
Yeah, Marseille 1 year.
Was it Marseille?
Saint Etienne,
wherever.
Rennes.
He was in France for 3 years when a lot of people were saying 2 was more than enough, and he made him wait and he came back and look what we got. I remember there was an injury that Martinelli got about 3 years ago. No, a bit more, about 4 years ago, and he came back fit, and he made him wait a long time before he got a spot. I remember fans on our podcast, people were saying he's been back now 3, 4, 5 months, and he's still not in the 11 yet. What's going on? And I wonder if he's doing a similar thing with Eze, saying, listen, you're gonna do well in this team, but I need you to understand what this team does first. And if it takes half a season for that to kind of the penny to drop, then so be it. I think Florian Wirtz next season is going to absolutely ruin the Premier League. I think I love that guy, and I think next year he's going to be a problem. And I just wonder if Arteta's thinking Eze could be that guy for us. You're a next year guy, because I just find it a little odd that he didn't bring him in. When I know Havertz is his guy, but come on, man, give the guy. He hasn't been that bad, and I just hope he's not trying to deprogram him, because we brought him in as a match winner, as a difference maker, and I just hope he's not making him a system guy and making him sit on the bench and, do you know what I mean, work out functionally what he wants from a position. I hope he's not doing that. But has anybody got concerns?
Yeah,
about
this is the first time I've rejected this idea that him not coming on for 4 games in a row was a problem, that him not starting for a little while was a big deal. I sort of fought against that. But when I saw that he gave Kai the start and he started 1 game against Kairat and that's it, yeah, I can't lie. There's a little part of me went, oh, I don't know if I love this. I think we're going to go through to let me just say this. I think we're going to go through to the Carabao Cup final. I think we'll beat Chelsea, but I do have a real fear that he's going to think, oh, that worked against Leeds. He's going to start Kai with Gyökeres. Actually, we're going to see what we really have seen most of these years. You know, Gyökeres struggling a little bit this season. Havertz in midfield not really working. And I think Eze's exclusion is going to frustrate us a lot more. I do have a horrible feeling that it will maybe wind us up a little bit on Tuesday night. It worked against Leeds and that's fine. But yeah, I'm a little bit concerned that he didn't turn to Eze in that moment. Because for so much of this season, it did work with Eze in the 10 against Bayern, against Spurs. Very good off-the-ball performances. And he opted for Kai Havertz in this game, which, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And we need to see more.
He's reverting to type. But it just might work this time. You know, we're all confident. Most of the pods for the first 56 minutes has been talking about how we're going to win the league, and I think that is the case. But wins like the one against Leeds, even 4-0, it doesn't hide the fact that Arteta does have a fundamental problem in terms of building the attack. And I know he can nonchalantly say about Odegaard that I don't tell him to do that. Well, brother, why do you play him every single time? You know, you have a choice to make about it, or why haven't you brought in the necessary profile you like? I think it was very kind of it was honest, but it was flippant in the sense that, hold on, like that doesn't answer it then, because the next question would be then why have you persisted with him over the course of this whole 18-month regression? Arteta's got a problem that he needs to fix, Premier League or no Premier League. Fortunately, I think this time round, the little flaws that, have allowed little runs to accumulate where we've dropped points 3 games here, dropped points 3. It looks like it's not going to affect us like it did 22-23 or 23-24 because we haven't got that juggernaut. That does play a part in why we're all confident. If it was that City, we wouldn't be as confident right now. But that also highlights that when we win the Premier League, because I do think we win it, Arteta still needs to fix this attack and fix the problem he has in building the attack. Whatever that problem may be, is it a problem dealing with the necessary characters and egos that a great attack needs? Because that's been a case in terms of his transfer recruitment and maybe not going for the profiles that might ruffle a few feathers and going for a nice guy first, attributes later, that might have an effect. Or is it that he's still learning? Because Jesus is a very different striker to Havertz and Gyökeres, and they're all Arteta signings. So there's still a lot of questions for him to answer, but that's also a good thing in my opinion, because it's like, right, we're going to win things. We're going to win something. I think we're winning the league, and we've got a gaping hole that needs to, be plugged in a sense where the attack it's not on par with the midfield and defense or goalkeeper, because Raya is solid. So on one hand, it makes me like even more confident moving forward that we're on the verge of greatness, and greatness isn't necessarily just one league title. I mean, an era of greatness, because it's so obvious what needs to improve here. And whether it's that Eze for me, that whole period of him that wasn't good. That wasn't good. We might get away with it. It looks like we will in terms of we're going to win stuff. But you want your big summer signings to be. Madueke's got a big chance now, for example. You know, I know they gave him the goal against Leeds, but I'm more with Jordan. He had a good game. He was okay. You know, and don't forget that I say for Saka, that sort of a game, the expectation is more. So I guess for Madueke, it's okay. A good game is the expectation. You're back up to Saka, but now you've got a chance to really, you know, when Saka returns, we've got a question on our hands because no attacker, like FK said, has got the ball by the horns yet. So that one attacker that does, whoever it may be, Havertz, Noni, Gyökeres, Saka coming back, Martinelli, Trossard, Eze, Odegaard. Couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. One of you just grabbed one horn and another one grabbed the other horn. Even if it's you're both of you in combination, we need something. And that might be Havertz Gyökeres. It didn't do what it looked like it was doing against Kairat, but I'm for it, people. I can't lie. I don't mind seeing Havertz. If we're going to shit ass a title, let's shit ass a title properly.
Hey, this is, I can't believe you're saying this. Gyökeres and Havertz, but let's do it.
I admired Allardyce's, Davies, and Nolan up top. I admired it once upon a time.
I kind of hear it. If we're going to, you said shit.
That team had JJ Okocha and Yuri Jokayev, and you know, they had flair.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if we're gonna stink our way to a title, it's quite a hilarious way to do it. It's quite a fucking funny way. Yeah, like basically no one in the league rates Gyökeres and Havertz outside of like maybe some Arsenal fans. If they're the strike duo that fire us to a title and maybe multiple, we're laughing now. I mean, wait till we drop points and we all crash out. But if they do it, there'll be something just like, you know, under a Spanish manager, Mikel Arteta, a student of Pep Guardiola, and he went and did it with like the most robust Spanish midfielder in Zubimendi I've ever seen, and a powerhouse in Declan Rice, 2 6'4" centre backs, a goalkeeper who's not even really known for shot stopping, he just catches everything that comes into the box. Basically, we're just gonna with centre backs at fullback and wingers with no pace, who's basically are just designed to put it in the box quickly. I mean, maybe Paul Scholes was right.
It's very unorthodox. Very unorthodox, isn't it?
Who cares? I mean, it's very athletic. It's very Simeone. Simeone would he'd win back-to-back quadruples with this setup. This is what Diego Simeone does.
But James, you say that, but West Ham played 2 up front this weekend. Second half, Chelsea went 2 up front this weekend. Spurs played 2 strikers up front today. Somebody else played 2 strikers this weekend as well. Who played 2 strikers?
No, you're right though.
So
fucking 2.
It's coming back. It's coming back.
I've got to say,
healing. The game is healing. I love it.
And I'm here for it.
Can I ask a question on Eze just before we move on, Turkish?
Yeah.
Where do you guys see his best position? And the reason why I ask is because I'm concerned about Eze. I love him as a player. I think he's fantastic. There's no doubting his skill set, but he's played 19 times for us in the league this year, 12 starts and 7 times off the bench. He scored 4 goals, hat-trick against Spurs. What a glorious day that was. But for someone that we paid £68 million for, like, I don't want to be critical. And I know he's a former Halem boy. And I know we all fell in love with the story and the way that he came and the announcement and all that sort of stuff. And it's great to have him in the squad. But I have to say, or let me ask the question, am I being unreasonable by expecting more? Like, I just don't think he's done it yet, and I'm a little bit nervous.
It depends what you're
really
expecting.
Nervous, actually.
First of all, what are you expecting? That's the question. That's the first question.
Well, the honest answer to that is that I thought he'd come in and command a starting spot in our squad, and I thought he'd take games and moments by the scruff of the neck, and I don't think he does it. Like I often think he's a bit of a passenger.
But what are you expecting? That's my question.
I mean, last season he scored 8 goals, 8 assists from 33, 34 games. And I guess I'd be expecting a bit more numbers. I guess.
No.
Oh, sorry,
where would you want him to play?
Oh, sorry.
What you
left
to do?
Left wide forward, number 10, wherever. Like we know Odegaard has been not playing well for a prolonged period of time. I guess there's complexities because he's the captain. But like, I thought Eze would come in and just be a starter for us. Like, I thought with that sort of fee, that sort of hype, that sort of romance with the way that he left and came, I thought he was going to be the one nailed on to be a starter every week. But wowzers, not at all. I don't know. I'm just putting the question.
No, I'm with you. No,
It's
I'm
a fair
with
question.
you. That's why I say Arteta's got to fund them because you're right. But I've seen FK. Name me one attacker that's improved under Arteta.
Or because of Arteta.
Like even Saka. Saka is the argument, but then you can also argue the last year since the injury and whatnot, he hasn't returned to that, and that's probably more injury related, and he is the curveball to that question. But everyone else, Martinelli, Odegaard, Gyökeres, you could say Havertz, but Havertz wasn't brought in as an attacker.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I feel with Eze, irrespective of the system, I thought he was going to come in and elevate us and warrant a starting spot and be that regular. But wow, he's. I mean, I don't want to say it because it sounds like I'm nitpicking and being so negative, and like people watching people sort of seeing me for the first time, be like, "Oh, who is this ball twat laying into Eze?" But like, reality is, he's not doing it.
100%. If we can admit that, this is a season where, like, if it was a juggernaut City 2 years ago or a Liverpool from 4 years ago on our necks now, or potentially with the drop points in the last 4 games we've had, they might even be ahead of us right now. It's a different story. We've got to be open to also admitting that we're about to do something special, but there's also the question marks there because 180 million pounds spent in attack and none of them are Gyökeres is a starter, but I mean just about. That's because our squad, it hasn't really got a striker breathing down his neck or a striker really at all next to him if we're talking out and out. So he's unique in that. I think Eze is probably the best example of why I think Arteta's got the fundamental problem, because Eze's been in this league. He's done magical things in front of me. Now, a lot of the comment section last time we discussed Eze were like, "Oh, if you watch Eze enough, you'd know he's a moments player." I knew that. But I also know he's stepping up here. And I also know he's stepping into a side that lacks what he brings in moments. So what can you as a manager do to bring those moments out more? Instead, it's lessened. So that is a worry, the FK.
FK is a really good question. Sorry to cut you, Turkish man. FK is a really good question. And you got me thinking because it was a little bit odd that we went in quite hard for him in the summer and then it went cold. And it wasn't until Tottenham started moving to him that we then got the deal done. That kind of pattern of play or that playing out of the timeline was a bit odd to me. It's like, well, why did you go so hard for him? It was like, it's almost done. And then nothing for like 3 weeks it was. And then Spurs come in, then you sign him. Does that say that you definitely wanted him? You had a place for him? Were you panicked into getting him because Spurs were going to get him? And I think if I'm to delineate your question a little bit more, are you kind of saying you wouldn't be surprised if in not this summer coming, but the following summer, Eze was sold to Aston Villa for 45 mil?
I don't think I've thought that far ahead. I mean, what is he now? 27. So he'll be 28 in the summer, I think. He's probably got at least 2 really good years in him to kind of get to his peak. And then once you're into your 30s, you maybe start thinking about that next chapter. No, Eze's definitely a player that I don't want to see the back of. No, not at all.
No. I'm not saying you want to see him. I'm just saying if we can't find a place for him, is there a scenario where next season doesn't work out as well, and it's like, you know what, let's just cut our losses?
But that says more to me about Arteta.
Yeah, I agree.
You cannot be a top coach of a top club when you know you've got sort of finite funds and then go and blow 68 million pounds on a player and not use him or not get the best out of him. And like Turkish was saying, we've seen him do it in moments and do it in purple patches. And also, to be fair, if you look back at his time at Crystal Palace over the last 4 or 5 years, he always excels in the second half of the season. Maybe this is going to play out to perfection. And I'm commenting about it on the 2nd of, we just got into the 2nd of Feb, right? So maybe like from this moment on, he's starting Tuesday, he'll play 15 games and absolutely blitz it. But so far, I just feel he's nor is he getting the chance to get game time and to influence things, and B, when he is on the pitch, I just feel he's carried a little bit.
Sorry to cut you in before you go. Just to add on to that, before you go, Jordan, Havertz deserved the start. Now, I was the one that said I want Havertz to start with Gyökeres. Havertz is 45 minutes, the same 45 that Eze got before getting the rest of the game. And Odegaard's minutes in recent games. Havertz, for me, that 45 deserved it. Was he amazing? No. But you don't need to be amazing right now in 10 and 9 positions for us to, you know, sniff like there's good dinner on the table. Havertz turned, he put Gyökeres through. Havertz got the ball turned in, scored. That's it. Job done. Come off at half time, son.
You need to release a book.
Eze hasn't done enough of that with the chances, and I think he should have more chances, but he also hasn't done enough with it.
FK just said that sorry, James, I know you were just trying to come in here. But final point, FK just said that you don't think you can spend that kind of money on a player and not use them. And in theory, I agree, but that's what City did with Mamouche. Liverpool did it with Ekatike/Isak. United done it with Šeško. They've all spent big money on forwards that aren't guaranteed starters. So I wonder if that's just the landscape of what top teams are now doing in the Premier League. You might need 3, 4, 70+ million pound attackers in your squad. I don't know. But I think this summer is going to determine what happens to Eze. Because if Jesus will probably go, well, he will go. And I think one of Martinelli or Trossard will and should go this summer as well. Now, how they are replaced, we will see this summer. But I think who comes in and where, I think will determine. And I'm not convinced. Odegaard's here next year, but that's for another day. But whoever comes in in the summer, I think will play a massive role in how and where Eze plays. Do you know what I mean?
I think worst case scenario with Eze, I think that's too far. I think worst case he becomes a great squad player, because as much as we're talking about Eze in this manner, and it's rightfully so, he's stepping into a team that, again, fundamentally, we don't attack well. So imagine an Eze where in a couple of years, okay, we've given up on him being the difference maker, but our attack's better because we got this player in and this player, and it's fitted in better. He becomes
our Trossard.
Yeah, he'll be a squad player stepping into a well-oiled attack rather than one now. So I think worst case with Eze,
second most expensive player, man. You can't just have him as a squad player, surely. I mean, maybe he will. You're right. Maybe that's where he ends up, but that would be so disappointing.
But FK, we signed Gyökeres, right? We signed Gyökeres, and a lot was put in on him, with Havertz being the one position he was trying to take. And Havertz is a what, 70M signing? So it does look like we've turned the corner in terms of how MADUEKE. We all thought we're spending that money on a left winger because he cannot be a backup, because this is Arsenal. We don't spend 60 million on backups. But lo and behold, he's actually been a backup more often than not, even though maybe Arteta gave up in 2-3 games. I doubt you're going to put 60 M's and give up after 2-3 on the left-hand side. So I get you. The old Arsenal doesn't sound right. The one this summer, we've done a few things that I'm like, okay, is this what we're doing now then?
And with Eze, you know, you said it, Turkish, that we've seen him for years in the Premier League. So if Arsenal can't get something out of him like that, for me, that's a failure on the club. Like, he's done it for years at Palace. What, suddenly, like, he just loses that? There's got to be something we're getting wrong. And sometimes, look at Bruno Fernandes, for Man United right now. You know, a year under Amorim, central midfield, kind of trying hard, running around a lot. He moves to the 10, and look at the things he's doing. You know, sometimes you just put a player in the right area and it all clicks. I think Eze is going to be absolutely fine. I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that, you know, Erdegaard's not been great when Aries left and Eze's not getting the minutes. But, you know, as Turkish said, maybe Kai deserved the start and fine. Hopefully he is what you said, FK. Second half of the season, he's just being kept on ice, and then he's going to be brought out to just explode. And we've seen, by the way, title-winning managers do that. We've seen Mourinho bring in Ramirez and move Fabregas up the pitch. We've seen, you know, Man United, Berbatov doesn't get sniffed, and suddenly he's starting week in, week out scoring goals. We've seen players come out of nowhere, and bam, they just have a moment. They just sort of come to life in the second half of a season or in the last 3 months, and you go, where did that come from? You know, so I'm not too worried about that. There's plenty of time for Eze to have a big impact. But if we're worried about a player who I think played brilliantly at St James's Park, is essentially the reason him and Martinelli got that equaliser against City, which is proving a massive equaliser now. He plays a brilliant ball to essentially get us the third goal against Bayern Munich. He single-handedly destroyed Tottenham. That's 4 games where I think he's either had a great performance or had a big impact. And he's been a bit underwhelming. And he's played in the right 8 where I don't think he's suited. He should be off the left, either as a left 10 or off the left wing coming inside. So I'm not worried about him, but I think it's a good question to ask because it's looking more spooky for him than it has probably all season.
Dude, moving it on now, considering time, like, hype, subscribe. We got Proton, show some love. Latte fam, link in the description. Merino injury. Last season, Merino was someone who stepped up around this time when the Havertz injury came out and became that player that, where did this come from? You know, and nearly took us to a Champions League final along the way, or helped take us. But this time it won't be him. Injury, surgery, and rumors that we're in the window, the deadline day, which is now, today as we record. How likely is it that we get something? I mean, I know FK and I know James, you keep your ear close to the ex-journalism streets, as well. I don't think they call it that. I've just called it that. But how likely is it that we do something?
You are a wordsmith, Turkish. Well, I think as we were coming on air, we talked about we talked about how some of the journalists are sort of positioning the story as, look, it's just horrific news for Arsenal. Mikel Merino's out for a few months, broken foot, needs surgery, maybe now sort of doubting World Cup. Let's write him off for the rest of the season. And I think the message is that Arsenal are going to see what's possible. But, like, look, I think Berta will have a short list of players. He's probably had, every good director of football will have a short list of players and contacts that they might want to sort of exploit. But tomorrow, I mean, what are the chances of Arsenal doing anything? Financially, we're okay. Kieran Maguire says that PSR, FFP, Arsenal are good. We can lay out £100 million for anyone we want. He's been saying that since the summer. But it's just who do you get, like, on the 2nd of Feb? The rumours, James, Ruben Neves on loan, potentially coming out from the Middle East. But slim pickings.
Yeah, it is. You said it well there, FK, like the positioning of how the journalists have put it. Now, what I don't want to do is what these aggregators do, which is basically get the Arsenal fan base in a stir because they aggregate the one line that sounds good and everyone goes crazy, and poor David Ormsey's having to reply to people going, I did not say this. So I just want to caveat by saying that. You're right in how you beautifully put it, Turkish, that, you know, I like to pay attention to what's being said by the journalists on Twitter. And I think, I don't know, and FK, to be fair, you do too. I think the way I'd put it is, when did Merino get injured? So he didn't play the Kairat game, but we knew he wasn't going to because of the yellow card. So there's every chance he got this injury either in training earlier in the week or straight after Man United. That makes the window of opportunity to sign players actually bigger for Arsenal. For all we know, they've maybe got ahead of it and only things are coming out now. Why have we only just heard about the injury? But also, sometimes there's a pattern in reporting. I know already I'm doing too much. I know already, but let me just explore it for a bit of fun because it's midnight and I'm you know, a bit delirious. I think sometimes you just see the reporting go as follows. Blah, blah, blah's got an injury, expected to be out for however long. Real shame for Arsenal. That's it. And then maybe somewhere in the article would say, obviously, they could sign someone on deadline day, but whatever. I think when journalists are putting in the tweet, Arsenal are actively exploring the market to see if something can be done, my brain just naturally goes, why have they said that? Because maybe it's obvious. Maybe it's just correct journalism. Or maybe it's a little bit of a like, no, Arsenal have got ahead with this a little bit more. Now, I don't know. By the time this podcast comes out, I'll look a complete fool because we'll be halfway into deadline day probably. And
we've all been there, James.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just.
I haven't, to be honest. Jordan has.
I've been there.
You know, I'm just putting that out there. I guess all this to say, my prediction is Arsenal don't sign anyone, and that people are just saying the obvious because, you know, it is deadline day. But if they did sign someone, it wouldn't surprise me as much as it would have basically 2 days ago. If someone told me Arsenal signed someone on deadline day 2 days ago, I'd be like, what? Like, why? Who? Like, how would that have happened? Whereas now I'd be more like, okay, yeah, I'm not that surprised about it.
It's a big blow. It's a big blow.
Yeah.
If it is season ending, that's a big blow because we have lots of good players. We don't have many clutch players. We don't have many players that I really go on, James.
We've lost Merino, probably our most clutch finisher in big moments, along with Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard, yeah.
We've lost Waneri, one of our best outside of the box players. And we don't know much about this. Huh?
We ain't lost.
No, we didn't lose him. We chose.
Yeah, fine. Well, which makes it even worse. And Saka, who absolutely is a dig Arsenal out of trouble player, has a hip injury. We don't know how long that is. So all this stuff might have affected. Like, it's not just Marina's injured. We might need to do something. It might be a case of we don't know how long Saka's going to be. Waneri's gone for the season, and now Merino potentially too. Do something. Like they might be panicking a little bit.
Didn't even mention the Saka stuff earlier as well, but yeah, that didn't look good in terms of. All I know is what I saw in the video footage. Definitely muscle related. It looks like, and that's not often good. It's often weeks at best, but we'll see. Or maybe we won't. Certain times of injuries at Arsenal, we don't see. We just say we end up finding out. But
just think, right? The position we're in, Turkish, right? Every single player in the Premier League would be open to move to Arsenal right now. The situation that we're in, the London pool, the fact that we're a massive club, we're going strong on all four fronts. World Cup year is probably the only thing that probably potentially rules someone out, but every player wants to play for Arsenal right now. We could go and rinse Palace for Wharton if we wanted to. Genuinely. What's stopping us from doing it?
You know what? It's
I'd
really
like us to flex a little bit more, though. I'd love us to flex a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what? You got me thinking there, FK. No, you got me thinking because you're right. Whilst we're in a very desirable position right now, I'm thinking to what City did last January. Liverpool have just signed a £60 million centre back in the last hour. Do we start planning for next year now?
I'm sure they have.
Do we start like
bring one forward if you can?
No. That's what I mean. I mean, do we get the guy we want in the summer? Get them now, or does that disrupt the team? Sorry, go on, James.
Buadi's the one that they're talking about in that way, like a potential. Could you bring it forward? I know we just signed an extension with Lille, but I mean, I don't think they think that's going to get in the way of anything.
I'd love it.
Hey, listen, Arteta liked Curtis Jones at one point, and he looks like he could be going to Inter Milan on loan.
I like him. He's really underrated.
He's been out there.
He's underrated.
I wouldn't be. What you put out there? I missed. Are we linked to Curtis Jones?
I didn't know that.
Well, no. Arteta liked him. He liked him about a year ago.
Unlike him, on Instagram you can unlike as well. If you click it twice,
you don't rate him at all.
I think he's a very underrated player. I'm not sure he's for us, but I think he's a really underrated player.
Fratesi nearly went to Forest, and that broke down.
Also, Zinchenko's left.
I don't think we'll sign anyone. But
Zinchenko's now left as well, which I think is a really good thing in terms of it's a big wage off our bill. Him and Jesus this summer will be off our wage bill. That's a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? In wages we're going to be getting back. So
Morgan Rogers, here we go.
Zinchenko
looking away in disgust. Yeah, go on, James.
Zinchenko's reputation upon leaving Arsenal, I think, is so unfair on actually the level he did get to for us. I think he's almost leaving as a bit of a joker. Like, we finally got rid of him. He was never good enough. Sorry, that first season, Zinchenko was unreal for us. And I know we moved on, and I know we evolved and we grew beyond him. But we went from, are we going to get top 4 to we could actually win the title, and Zinchenko was a huge part of it. I just wanted to say that on him. Not good enough to stay long term, but he's one of our best left backs of the Emirates era. Like, I genuinely, even if it's because of one season's work, I think very few left backs have had a season as good as that.
If we're reminiscing, we may as well bring back Granit Xhaka. No, let's not go there. Come on, Turkish. Over back to
6 months alone. A little cheeky 4-month loan, Sunderland.
Johan Giroud, want to bring him back, sort of thing for 6 months.
No. Stop. And you lot started this by saying drop the PTSD. You're ending it with Johan Giroud and Zinchenko. Fucking hell.
Where does Zinchenko rank for you, Turkish?
Behind Monreal and Clichy, that's for sure.
Below them? Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I don't know, you know.
That's 2.
Yeah, no, I know, but how many we had? He's above Andre Santos.
I don't know about Cliche.
I think I'm above Andre Santos for Arsenal, and I ain't made an appearance.
But the fact that he could be top 3 off 1 year's work.
Yeah, but who else is there? Monreal,
Kieran Gibbs, like Kivior, Calafiori. Like these are our left backs.
Oh, you're including these, man. He's not. Calafiori's better than him.
James, come on.
Who's better?
No. He's saying body of work. The body of work that he gave us is a better body of work than Calafiori. Maybe this year's arguable if we win the title, but as a body of work, that 3/4 of a season.
Zinchenko. Yeah, but that 22-23 Zinchenko, I think you'll struggle to find many 1 seasons from a left back in the Emirates era.
That's a different question. That's a different frame.
Yeah, that's all I meant. That's all I meant. Yeah. And then he wasn't good suddenly. All of it left.
There was a cliff and he fell off it quickly.
Yeah, he fell off massively. But that 1 year was unreal.
He's out of here. I don't know where he's gone, but yeah. Let's keep it. Chelsea. Sorry, I know I'm a bit ruthless. I don't mean to be. I'm blunt. It's not rude. It's blunt. Apologies. I'm Irish as well, people. It's in our nature.
I don't know. You've used your son as an excuse. Hang on. You used your son as an excuse to why I didn't watch the football. Now you're using that I'm Irish as I can be rude because I'm Irish. What's going on here? What's happening?
Science. That's what's happening, people. It's science.
Oh yeah, I'm Jamaican. Just I'm a scumbag, but I'm Jamaican. How
can you? What are you doing?
It's not my fault. You know what I mean? Just forgive me. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know about what you're trying to make it. Look, James was about to say something, and now he's like,
yeah.
Refrain.
Think twice.
But Chelsea, 1 hour 26 minutes in, we haven't even mentioned Chelsea. I mean, 3-2 up first leg. Emirates the next. Man City play Newcastle, and that one doesn't look as foregone a conclusion as it maybe did when they got the result, because the early Newcastle goal may change things at the Etihad, but it is at the Etihad. With us, Emirates, Chelsea fought back against West Ham, 2-0 down, booed, 3-2 win. What do we do lineup wise? Strong as possible, FK?
Yes.
We got a yes from Jordan earlier, a nod from FK and James. You're the only one that hasn't somehow answered the question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But I think he has to Turkish because first of all, I'll admit League Cup is low priority for me. I struggle really to get excited for it every year. But now that we are at halftime and we're so close to a final and it's LinkedIn Liam and everything about Chelsea that we all hate.
LinkedIn Liam.
Let's go. Let's just go. Strong team. Slap them up straight into Wembley. And just, kill the ghost of Birmingham and undo all the heartache that came from that game.
I did ask strong team or rotation, didn't I?
Yeah, he said strong team. Go strong. I'm not no messing around. Raya back in goal, the full 11. Go for it.
I said strong. I wouldn't start Raya because I think if the deal was that Kepa's coming in on the basis he plays the cup games, I don't think you can break that promise. I think you can be ruthless. I think it's a dangerous message to the rest of your players if you're breaking commitments to individual players.
Gen Z rubbish.
No, I'm not. These are Gen Z players.
Yeah, but they better Gen Y or whatever.
These are Gen Z players.
Gen Z, bro. They better get Gen Millennium or Millennium.
If he starts having Raya, I'm not crying about it. I'm not bothered about it. I'm just saying I think if that was the deal, I think you got to stick with your words. So, but. Whatever, I don't really care who starts. I'm just saying on that basis.
You're going soft, Jordan. You're going soft, man.
No, and like Kepa's a crap second choice keeper. Kepa's good enough to get us over the line in a game we're leading 1-0. He's not some youth team keeper that you've. Do you know what I mean? Kepa's an experienced goalkeeper. He's not Raya, but if Raya starts, I'm cool with that as well. Other than that, I'm going whoever's fit, strongest 11. It's a Premier League game. It's a Premier League game.
If we get to the final, Jordan, and it's Man City in the final, you're not starting Raya.
No.
You're starting Raya. Come on, man.
Raya. If I've promised, if that's the promise, I don't think you can break that. Oh, sorry, we're at the final now. So
Kepa's going in the summer. He's leaving.
He's leaving the summer.
Yeah, he's going to leave.
In that case, then, but yeah, all right, play right on Wednesday. Then I didn't know that.
I think Arteta said to Kepa. I think Arteta said in a press conference that there is no one's been promised cup games or anything.
Oh, okay. By the way, take it back.
Gen Z starts 1997, and I'm 1995, so I'm 2 years off being offended by what Turkish said.
So what are you then?
I think I'm millennial.
He's a millennial.
Oh, same as me. Nice.
You're Gen Z. Really?
Just making up rules now. You're Gen Z.
I mean,
I just give Gen Z, do I? All right.
You give it Gen Z a lot.
But just to finish my point before James comes in on his lineup, I think the reason why you got to go strong is I don't think you want to give Chelsea any sniff that they've got a chance. I think if you put out a second choice team, I think you give them from the kickoff a sniff that it's game on. I think if you go strong, I think you show Chelsea, we're coming to the Emirates, we're 1-0 down, and they're going strong. I think you've got to just kill the game as soon as possible. Don't give them any idea that this game could go left, because if they score first, it's game on. I think you've got to just kill it psychologically and literally as soon as you can.
I think it's game on from the get-go. It's only a goal difference, goal swing. Does away goals count?
No
away goals. Yeah, it's just a goal swing. It's game on from the get-go. So maybe going strong is the way, but Chelsea will be definitely stronger.
Shit, wasn't it?
Huh?
That was a shit time away goals, wasn't it? Like going out to Bayern because we only scored 2 at their ground when they scored. Do you remember that? Anyway,
yeah.
Would you go strong
Turkish one time on goal difference?
Yeah, true. Would you go strong Turkish?
Yeah,
would that go strong? Would that go strong? What is strong?
Yeah, what?
First team, first lineup.
If it was a Premier League game, who would you pick?
Raya. Well, does Ben White come in at right back? Maybe Saliba, Gabriel.
I would rotate quite a bit from Leeds because I think it makes us stronger. I'd go Kepa for Raya just because also if Raya got injured in a Carabao Cup game, we'd all be furious, wouldn't we? So I think there's kind of that as well. So I just go Kepa because I think he's a good enough player. So I'd go Kepa. I actually would bring in White and Calafiori. I'd go White, Calafiori, Saliba, Gabriel.
I'd go Lewis Skelly.
Ooh,
I wouldn't.
Shout. Against Esteval.
I wouldn't.
Is Esteval guaranteed? Esteval went back to Brazil. Family problems, personal issues.
Is that right?
Didn't he?
I don't know.
I couldn't have just made that up right now.
I mean, unless it's something like someone's passed
personal
away.
reasons and returns to Brazil. He was today. Personal reasons back to Brazil. So I'm not too sure. Obviously, he might be back for it.
Yeah, I'd bring in White and Calafiori with Saliba, Gabriel. I'd go Eze with Zubimendi and Rice, and I'd go Trossard, Gyökeres, and Madueke. Trossard has left the purple patch behind. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Hope he can rediscover it. But yeah.
What about Hincapié? Is he available?
Yeah.
So
I don't know about. I think Calafiori is very important for us.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if I want to, but then is it a minutes thing? Obviously, he's been injured already. Is it more minutes for him, or is it let's protect him? I don't know.
Well, now that Esteval's not playing, I wouldn't mind Hincapié on Tuesday, to be honest. But
that's what I thought about Lewis Skelly. I thought if Esteval's not playing, Lewis Skelly can maybe get him with a shout. But
true.
I'm not all in on Hincapié yet, by the way, as well.
Did you guys see that? Have you not? Okay.
Not yet. He looks good, but I'm not.
Have you guys seen that compilation of Madueke's treatment at Stamford Bridge, where all the Chelsea players were like pushing him, kicking him?
I have seen that one. Mate,
I'm telling you, Nonny's is. I'll link it with you. I'll link you it tonight, Turkish, on Twitter. But
it's funny.
It's Nonny's night on Tuesday. He has a chance.
Yeah, they were very quick. He got tackled, and just like Enzo and others, just like
pushed him over again.
One of those.
It's really. I find it so strange when players do that. I'm like, you're not winning the game, and you're celebrating in someone's face because he got tackled. It was like really strange. Yeah, I hope Nonny shows up, man. But let's see. Just get us through to the final.
Yeah,
be done with Chelsea, please.
Let's do some predictions. Before we do predictions, let's take a look back and see how the predictions affected what the table looks like now. And it doesn't really affect it, just for the benefit of the watchers right now, whether watching or audio platforms. We are available on audio platforms, people. You can listen to us there as well at the same time as the show on YouTube. James didn't give his prediction in, but it was unique circumstances. I knew James would go for a win, so I've given James 1 point for the win. And both...
Oh, sweet.
No, it's not sweet. Don't say that because I'll take it off you. I'm not sweet.
All right, sorry.
It's true. It's true.
I don't
You
like
said you were once described as lovely, and you enjoyed that.
Nah, I mean that's what I didn't like that one either. But lovely's, yeah, don't call me lovely either. Actually, it depends who is coming from, the compliment, and yeah,
Right.
I don't want that from you. Thank you.
Don't do it, James.
I'm just doing my job as the manager of a league with integrity here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where was I? We all went win, so we all got a point. That's it. None of us predicted 4-0. Jordan went Rice, Starman. The guest went Rice, Starman. I went Saka, Starman, who didn't even play. So none of us got any extra points. So it's just one all round on the board, and we just kept it moving from there, which made sense to give James his point as well, because no one actually got anything out of the week anyway. FK, you are second up on the list. So after I make my prediction, you will give yours and Starman. And no, I didn't use you for this Starman, but I'm going to go MADUEKE even before I pick my prediction, because I expect him to do something as well. Like, I'm that sort of guy that thinks against your old club, like, you know, and your new fans have some doubts, or me at the very least, go and do something. Just do something. And now he's coming off the goal. And well, I mean, I even calling it a goal, the assist and the goal. I think he should be primed to do something. But I'm gonna go Arsenal 3-1 and MADUEKE to be Starman.
You got my score prediction as well.
You can go like for like, but I mean, you're in second. Like Jordan, you're trying to.
You got to take risks.
It's a big gap there, but you're actually. I mean, I say you. The guest isn't. If we allow the guests to win this league, it's a disgrace. James.
I'll go 2-1 Arsenal, just to be different, just to try and get the comeback. And Starman, do you know what? Because we talked about him, and if he plays on Tuesday, Eza, let's go for it. Let's take some risks.
Okay, 3-1 MADUEKE, 2-1 Eze. James.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. I think this is going to be a nervy old night.
Ooh.
I actually think 1-1 will go through on aggregate. So I need to pick a goal scorer. Martinelli.
Okay, someone different. 1-1 Martinelli. Jordan, wrap it up.
I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal, and I'm going to go Trossard, Starman.
Another 2-1 Trossard, a different Starman. So 4 different Starmen, couple similar predictions there, Jordan and FK. A draw from James, 3 other wins. But yeah, let us know in the comment section below what your prediction is, thoughts, lineup. How do we go? Strong, not strong, rotate, Raya final, does he play it if we get there, which we should? But obviously we'll be releasing our show after the Man City game as well, so the next Loose Cannons will be out after the Man City game against Newcastle, just so we know where we land with the Carabao Cup final, allowing us to go into the weekend stuff rather than do it straight after ours and not talk about, you know, Newcastle might do something. We all expect City to link us in the final, but Newcastle might do a little something.
If we get there.
We better get there. We better get there.
I agree, we better get there. I'm just padding it down for you, you know, just
cool.
If we get there.
Comment of the day.
I'm nervous about it.
Have you got a comment?
I don't actually have a comment, boys, but I want to just big up my guy Olu, my DPD driver, who dropped off another parcel to mine this week, right? Who loves the podcast but never watches it. Loves Big Six. Shouting out Big Six.
Come on.
He ain't got time for no podcast, but he's got time for your podcast. So anyway, I want to shout out my guy Olu, but sorry, I haven't got a comment this week. That's my bad. I'll do better next week.
Neither do I, but some people just put some lovely comments wishing me well. So thank you for that. I was very, very kind. And big up to Dan, who stepped in very last minute for me. Like, I really, really appreciated that. I messaged him as well privately, but yeah, thanks for carrying the show without me, guys, last week.
No, carry it. Yeah, it's barely carried, brother. It's the community that carries it. So like, hype, subscribe, people. And yes, that's me trying to avoid that. I haven't got a comment of the day as well. So here I am talking about standards.
We noticed it.
I don't even keep them myself. But yeah, it's nearly 1 a.m. people. Allow me. Love for the love. Show Proton some love. It's not even on screen now, but it's back on screen. You need a VPN. FK, you got VPN?
I got one at home, but it's not this brand, sadly. Next time I'll.
What brand is it?
We'll edit that bit out. Yeah. We'll edit it out. Edit it out.
Press VPN.
I've got something for you, FK.
I bet you have.
Don't worry, I'll all right, we're gonna talk, people. We're gonna talk.
Anyway, so yeah, subscribe, share, like the podcast. Great podcast.
Scan it, scan it. Link in description.
Proton like,
security,
man.
privacy.
Let me just scan it right now.
There you go. Cancel your other man. Cancel it. Latte Firm will be hacked if you don't get this Proton VPN. I'm telling you. Remember, Latte Firm over. You better. Listen, FK, but we got FK. People, hopefully you've enjoyed the FK. Go show him some love on Latte Firm. FK, hopefully
best guest so far.
Thank you. I've loved it. Loved it. Hopefully you
big up, brother.
Loved it too. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it, man.
Come on. And James, welcome back. Well and truly. Another show under our belts, 1 hour 40 minutes, people. So listen, like, hype, subscribe, show Latte Firm some love. And if you're not subscribed here, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Show Proton some love for the love. We'll be back after Man City, Newcastle, and just before Sunderland in the league. And Liverpool obviously host Man City. Another big one there, another chance hopefully to wrap this title up early.